So there was a study done by American Psychology Association. When they studied big women and things, how the weight of a person, of an employee, really affects their work, and if it affects their work in any way. And they found that thin women and big men get paid the most. Crazy, right?
Thin women and
big
fat
men.
boys.
They didn't use
men.
fat, so
Bigger
I don't know.
Men.
I guess the larger men. That's what they meant. Like larger, not necessarily fat, like huge. You know what I mean? But larger men. Okay. According to the study, women who weigh 30 pounds less than the group norm, which is on average 160 pounds, earn about $16,000 more per year. Ooh, right?
Time to die, ladies.
Isn't that crazy? And women who weigh 30 pounds above the group norm of 160 pounds made $14,000 less than your average coworker. Now, in the case of men, thinner men made almost $9,000 less than the average coworker. And they also found in one study that the highest pay point on average for men was reached for guys who weighed 207 pounds.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. What does that mean?
Exactly what I weigh.
That's what you weigh? 207 pounds? On point?
Exactly.
Damn,
but I'm a perfect specimen of 207 pounds.
there you go. And, so I'm thinking about the study exactly shows, guys exactly like Mr. Burns. He's not really overweight. You know what I mean? He's just a big man. You guys can see him right now. Smile, Mr. Burns. There you go. Maybe stand up and do a little flexing.
No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do
that. You don't know how to flex. It's a little shy. A little shy for the ladies. Ladies, if you.
I am single though.
Oh yes, he is single. Although the ex-wife might be listening to the show right now, but that's okay. She'll let us slide. So I got a couple of things that I want to say about this. First of all, I'm gonna tell you something right now that you're gonna be like, what? But I feel like this study, the results of this study, are a consequence of white men being the ones that empower in the workforce. They being the ones that make the decisions about who to hire, who are they gonna raise the salary, whatever. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So first of all, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, women, to some extent, it makes sense because women who are more attractive, of course, get paid more. You know what I mean? Especially, you gotta understand this. I mean, women have the option of almost women sometimes are employed for things that are purely just for aesthetics. Hostess at a restaurant. I mean, you don't see male hosts that often. You see them, but most are hostess. You know what I mean? So women are utilized a lot of the times because of their beauty, and it only makes sense that a lot of times they get paid more just because they're beautiful. They get paid more than a girl who's not as good looking. And being thinner, it's also related to being more beautiful, unfortunately. I feel like the reason why the big man gets paid more is because as a man who's in charge of hiring, and that's why I go back to the thing that I said before, that it reflects, it's a consequence of white men being the one in charge of making these decisions. Of course, it's white man is not always, the one in charge, but for the most part it is. Because I mean, a man who's in charge does not want another man who is thin and good looking. You kind of see it as a challenge. You know what I mean? It's almost like a challenge to you, as opposed to having a big man that you want to have on your side. The big man's a little bit intimidating, of course. I mean, you don't want to.
Well, remember back in the days, the bigger, larger people were considered more successful, richer, because
yes, I think it has to do with the image. Yeah. You know what I mean? You go back. It kind of goes back to our basic animal instincts as humans. You know what I mean? Where the women, the more beautiful woman is the one that gets the more attention, and the more aggressive man is the one that kind of earns the place a little more. So I think it kind of says that a little bit about that too as well. And the third reason why I feel like it kind of and one of the reasons why I think it kind of reflects white men being in power and making all of these decisions is because look at it weight. Like, they're basically saying that a woman who weighs 30 pounds less than 160 pounds, that means it's 130 pounds. White men love skinny bitches. I mean, we Latinos and black people, a lot of people of color, we do not like skinny bitches, man. We like our women with a little bit of meat. You know what I mean? We like them a little thick. We don't want to be no anorexic motherfucker that looks like if she sneezes, she's gonna pass out. You feel me? And that's why I think it reflects, because in the white culture, and not for everybody, of course. So my white people watching, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not like that, like my woman thick." I know, I feel you, but especially a little older white, you gotta understand that a lot of people in power are making decisions.
She's not thick. Tell them the
On
truth,
average,
Chico. Tell them the truth. She's not thick.
on average, the men making decisions are late 30s at the very least, you know, or early 40s. So, you know, for that generation of white people, thin women, thin was attractive, you know. And you look at the old movies, you're gonna see a lot of thin white women. Great example is the fucking esqueleto de Michelle Pfeiffer in Scarface. You know what I mean? I mean, very attractive, yo. Michelle Pfeiffer was very attractive. But I mean, she was she was just bones, man. She was just no tenía nada de carne. You could just throw it at the fucking dogs and they'll be fighting over that bone right there. You know what I mean? But I think that exemplifies really what the taste of older white men is. Now that's a generational thing. Like the newer generation, I'm more into the thick thing. You know what I mean? They like thick girls a little more. So don't take it too personal.
It's
a lot
trendy
of the younger,
now. It's trendy now.
It's trendy now because you see it on the videos. Yeah, you see it in the videos. You know what I mean? The rapper videos. You see the girl that's thick. There's never a skinny women in it. You know what I mean? So I think that's also a generational thing, and hopefully it's gonna change. And yeah, because just to give an example,